الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد. All praise belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him, we adore Him, we seek for His forgiveness, we ask Him in His infinite mercy to ease our fears and make our feet steadfast on His path of Islam. Amen. Today, inshallah, by the grace of Allah, we'll be looking at a new topic entirely, and that is on Sukun. Sukun. And the sign being written, as you can see, this is the sign of Sukun, and this also is the sign of Sukun. Just that there are differences between this sign and this sign. This first sign is used in the Quran. It's used in writing the Quran. While most of the times, this one that look like a zero is used when writing Arabic. But most of the times in Quran, you see this type of Sukun and not this. So what is Sukun? Sukun, it has some explanation on it. As we have here that Sukun is used in Arabic to mark the absence of vowel. So when we are spelling a letter or some words, then we come across the sign of Sukun that we've shown ourselves. Then such cases, when those words or those letters that possess the Sukun, the sign of Sukun, that means we are to pause. So Sukun literally means for us to pause a little bit, not even up to a milliseconds, for us to pause at that particular letter that has the Sukun. And by example, it will be clear, inshallah. So let's look at this. There are some examples that we'll be giving ourselves right now. For example, let's say we have Hamza, Fatha, A, then followed by Ba, Sukun. So how is this supposed to be pronounced? In English, when it is being written, that is the transliteration of this, then we have something like this: Hamza, Fatha, A. Then in pronouncing the letter Ba that has this Sukun, what we'll just do is that we'll remove the first letter in the pronunciation of the letter Ba. So the first letter in the pronunciation of letter Ba is B. So that means B will indeed serve as the Ba Sukun. So that means we have B. So that means it is Ab. Hamza Fatha A. Ba Sukun Ab. That means we have to pause a little bit, since the Ba is the one that possesses the Sukun. And that means it will be Ab. Other examples. Let's say we have Sin Fatha Sa, then followed by Fa Fatha Fa, which is Safa. Then let's say letter Shin is the one that possesses the Sukun. So by this, in writing it in English, that is the transliteration of this word, it will be Sin Fatha Sa, and followed by the Fa Fatha Sa, which is Safa. Then the Shin is the one that has the Sukun. That means we have to pause on the first letter of the Shin, which is the SH. Shin. SH. So that means it will be SH, which is Safash. Safash. Let's take one more example. Let's say we have Mim Fatha or Mim Dhamma Mu, then followed by Nun Fatha Na. Then let's say we have Ra Fatha Ra. We all know this to be Mu Na Ra. Then let's say letter Fa has Sukun. Then by this, how are we to pronounce it? In getting the transliteration of this, it will be Mu Na Ra. Then the Fa, and the first letter of this letter Fa, started with F. So that means we have to add the first letter, which is F. So that means we have Munarof. So in a nutshell, Sukun, when it is being possessed by a letter, that particular letter, we have to pause a little bit on that letter. That is on Sukun. So it just is used in Arabic to mark the absence of a vowel. So there is no vowel in that particular letter, neither fatha, kasra or dhamma, or the alif al-mad, or the waw al-mad, and the yaw al-mad. So that means we have to pause a little bit on that particular letter that possesses the sukun. So now we have them here. So these are the signs of sukun, this and this. But this is mainly used in the Quran, as we've explained. So we have this to be ba, bi, bu. Now here is the sukun. The ba has sukun. So that means it will be hamza fatha a, ba sukun ab, ab. And here is ta, ti, tu. And it will be hamza fatha a, ta sukun at, at. And here we have tha, thi, thu. So that means here will be hamza fatha a, tha sukun ath, ath. Ja, ji, ju. And it will be aj, aj, jim. Here we have ha, hi, hu. And it will be bah, ba fatha ba, ha sukun bah, bah. And then we have kha, khi, khu. And here it will be akh, akh, akh. And here we have a, o. And it will be a, a. And here we have la, li, lu. And here it will be al, al. So now we have the letters of sukun fully here. So in this place we have, so we'll be pronouncing them without spelling, so take note. So here will be an, hab, qat, bas, sah, sil, sir, sir, iz, iz, him, ذق, should, would, fuz, cool, rik, ish, sug, kai, law. So this is sukun. So that means sukun is the opposite of the vowels. Sukun is the opposite of what we'll be learning before now, the fatha, the kasra, and the dhamma. As you can see that it is indeed totally different in pronunciation. So the next page is also on sukun, but all these examples are being derived from the Quran. So this is how the Quran is being written on sukun. The sign of sukun is this, as we've explained. So all these examples are from the Quran. So here we have shita. So we paused on the hamza that possesses the sukun. So it will be shita. Yahbitu, yahbitu. Na'budu, yagfiru, going. So we pause on the going. Yagfiru. Uqsimu, taksibu, yashrahu, ajdahu, abhaka, nal'abu, an'ama, yasna'u, asghafu, yuzhiru, fa'akhraja. As you can see, these are 5-letter words. Fa'akhraja, atma'u, أتقن يدخل يحيي sign of ya ul mad. Please don't forget ya ul mad. يحيي alqa. This is not ya, rather it is alif al mad. Since the ya did not have any sign of vowels, there is no fatha on the ya, neither kasra or dhamma. That means it is alif al mad. As you can see that all the past lessons that we'll be taking, they are now bringing it in the forthcoming lessons. That shows that we need to revise the past lessons very well. So that will be alqa mathna. Ba is with sukun, likewise ra is with sukun. Absir, absir, I will pause on the ba and likewise on the ra. Absir. Azhaba, arsala, arsala. Faragta, kaidu, awhana, yahdi, yakhtafu, khizyi, abghathu, abghathu. Tabkhalu, tabkhalu. So this is the second page on Sukun, and we'll be taking one more page inshallah on the same Sukun, and there are also examples from the Quran, but more than 5 letter words. Some are 4 and some are more than 4. So here we have yuzji, yamhaqu, yatluna, ufrig, ufrig, yudrika, rihlata, it'amu, atawhu, atawhu, mithluha, yuthbitu, yuthbitu, as'asa, as'asa, yatluna, fadamdama, latatuna, latatuna. As you can see that we paused on the hamza a little bit. Latatuna, yalmizuka, mumsika, yatlu, ashku, yashrabu, khamsina. This is meme. Khamsina. Ahlakna, ahlakna. Asjudu. This is Hamza and also Hamza. asjudu alayhu yu'tika mab'uthuna mab'uthuna ra'awhum ra'awhum qadaytum qadaytum yuwaswisu yuwaswisu. It's a little bit complex. Anulzi anulzi mukumuha anulzimukumuha anulzimukumuha fatakhtafuhu fatakhtafuhu wal yadribna lam with sukun, dad with sukun, and ba with sukun. Wal yadribna qutiltum qutiltum. So this is the first batch of sukun. As the next page is another type or another way in which sukun is being pronounced, and on some other letters, in which inshallah in the forthcoming class we'll be taking it. So this is sukun for you, in which you have to pause on the letter that possesses the sukun, and then you move on with the next letter. Inshallah we'll stop here. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us all. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.